Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the Indian economy. Okay, so I'm going to discuss some important point on Indian economy of Vision IS. Of Vision IS. Vision IS. So from that, I'm going to taking some topic like wait a minute, economy. So yesterday we discussed about self-help group, MPI, and GDP. Three topics, and today I'm going to and public debt also. Today, so almost 12 or 13 pages were completed. Fiscal policy, yeah. So what is fiscal policy? Can you discuss about fiscal policy? So fiscal policy is the Reserve Bank of India. It publishes the report that is state finance. State finance, a study of budget 2023 and 24. Here, revenue dynamics and the fiscal capacity of Indian states. So he wants to describe about the Indian states. So what is the fiscal capacity of the Indian states? So the capital outlay of the budget increases. So capital outlay, we have 42.6%. It is 2.9% of GDP. Okay, and debt to GDP ratio, that is 31%, and which is in 2021 it is now 27.5% in 2023. So this is the debt to GDP ratio. So that was 23% and now it is 27%. State consolidation gross fiscal deficit, it is declined. So gross fiscal deficit, it also declined because before that it was 4.1% in 2021, now 2.8%, that is in 2022. So this is the gross fiscal deficit, which is 4.1%, and now it is 2.8%. And tax buoyancy is it's increase in the GST. And tax buoyancy is responsiveness of the tax revenue received to change into national income. How much taxes are changing tax revenue received to change in the national income? So that is called the tax buoyancy. So it is tax revenue in terms of it changes in the national income. So tax buoyancy greater than 1 signifies that tax revenue grow at a faster rate. If the tax buoyancy is greater than 1, that means the tax revenue grow at a faster rate, means we have grow the taxes at faster rate. Okay, so this all about we should be understand about what is happening in our uh, Indian economy. Okay, now next one, this yesterday also we discussed. Now next one is NK Singh committee. NK Singh committee. This NK Singh committee was recommend that debt to GDP ratio, that is 60%, and now it is 40% for the center, and 20% for the states. Okay, and NK Singh committee is also added one escape clause. Escape clause. So this escape clause is basically that allow deviation from the fiscal target under specific circumstances. What of the deviations are in the fiscal targets? Fiscal targets. That is called what? That is called the escape clause, and it is like war, national calamity, and all that. State capital expenditure, which was we discussed yesterday, so I'm not going to again discuss the same topic. But state capital expenditure we discussed yesterday. Public debt we discussed yesterday. Off budget borrowing, yes. Current account deficit, yes, we discussed yesterday. Dated securities, yes, we discussed dated security. Goods and service tax, this is not discussed. Now, goods and service tax. So, 50th Council of GST, it is meeting was that 28% on online gaming. We are charging 28% on online gaming, and horse riding, horse racing. Okay, and one more thing is the casinos. Okay, so this all we are doing. Wait a minute. Okay, now we are going to discuss about GST. So, what is GST? Okay, so first of all, GST we added 28% tax over gaming, horse racing, and the casino, and we added TDS. There is 30% is deducted from the winning in both game types. So TDS is reduced, and 28% tax rate, which is on the initial amount paid upon entry, covers the games. It is covers the games, and that is 28%. Okay, 28%. And GST is single domesticated. It is a single and domestic plus plus indirect tax law, and it is the multi-stage and destination based tax. Destination based tax. Okay, that's destination based tax. So single domestic indirect tax, multi-stage destination based tax. 1 July 2000, that is 101 Constitutional Amendment Act, and that was 1 July and 2017 it was started, and first proposed by the Calcutta and Task Force. Calcutta Task Force. Okay, so what kind of things we should be in your mind? First of all, GST, which is 1 July, and 28% for the luxury gaming and all that items. And Calcutta Task Force was the important thing for the GST. Okay, so Calcutta Task Force was the important thing, and this is a destination based tax, and this is a one tax system, multi-stage also, and destination based tax, single domesticated indirect, all indirect taxes are concluded in this. So Pratidin, like a web based daily performance management system, it is the Platidin, and the idea of nationwide GST that was proposed with the task force of the Calcutta. Now there is a GST structure. So first is the central GST, then is the state GST, and then is the uh, interstate GST. Interstate GST. In central, it is collected with the central government, collected by central government, and in the state that is collected by the state government, and in interstate that was collected by the central plus state both. Okay, now need of GST, why we need a GST system? Why? First is for a single national market, we need a single national market. Complicated taxation, we have a complicated taxations, ठीक है, और taxations are very complicated. Then the tax cascading, this is also very big issue. Incorporation of technology, we need a technology now, and ease of doing business, ease of doing business. And next is high cost of tax collection, so high cost of tax collection. So these all are the reason. That's why we added a GST system. GST network. It is a non-profit organization. It is kind of NGO, and it is IT backbone. There is a IT backbone system, and it is governed with company 100% shareholding is held with the government, and out of 50% with the union government and 50% with the state government plus UTs. Okay, that is the system of GST. Now GST Appellate Tribunal. So that is GSTAT. Okay, that is the Appellate Tribunal. It is under the Central GST Act. GST Act was came into 2017, and now there is a near appeals against order passed by Appellate Authority, and Central Goods and Service Taxes Act is also there. Central GST tax that was It is also an act in 2023, before that 2017. Now change in qualification of GSAT, like advocate with the at least 10 year. So who will be in this system? G state. So G state, so there will be an advocate who at least have the 10-year work under the under the judicial system. Okay, so they will be as a member of this. Minimum age will be 50 years. Minimum age for GSAT is 50 years for the GST appellate tribunal, and increase age limit, that is 70 years. Up to 70 years they can join this. Okay, now next one is, it is 67 years also. And this GST Council, what do you understand about the GST Council? So now I am going to discuss about the GST Council. Okay. So GST Council, next topic. GST Council. Okay. So now this GST Council is a constitutional body. First of all, it is a constitutional body. Alright. Second, President of India under the Article 279A. So it is a joint forum. It is a joint forum of center and the state. Union Minister of the State in charge of the revenue, Ministry of the charge finance. Now their decision making is also happening in this council. So 3/4 of the majority member will present and voting. 3/4 of the present and voting member will be there for the decision making, and central share is 33%. 33% is what? It is central share. Okay, and council make decision on the various aspect of the, including taxes, exemptions, revenue, and all that. All right. So this all about the GST council. So hope you enjoyed this topic. We will discuss daily lots of topics. Okay, about new topics which will be which are coming in the coming exams. So now next is the widening tax base. Next topic, one more topic we are going to do. This is the widening tax base. Okay. So first of all, recently government has highlighted that introduction of the new tracking feature, new tracking feature. Why government want to track? Because helping in widening tax base. Like now what we did PAN account mandatory, bank account mandatory. Okay, and second one is Aadhaar. Three things are we have: bank account, PAN account, and the Aadhaar card. Okay, so tracking all the formal, we introduce this new TDS system, new data source system. Okay, and we added tax to GDP ratio, which is 11%. Tax to GDP ratio, which is how much? 11.1%. And in financial year 2023, it was 11.1%. And direct tax, that is 6%. We have the direct tax which is 6%, and indirect tax which is 5.1%. So we have more direct tax than indirect tax. Okay, and our tax to GDP ratio is 11.1%. Useful measure of the country's capacity to generate tax revenue, to decrease tax to GDP ratio and indicate slowing economy. If this tax to GDP ratio will be going to decrease, that means our economic growth is also not good. Okay, so our net direct tax collection is 121.18%, and our direct tax to GDP ratio, that is 5.62%, and that was in 2013, and now it is 5.97% 2022, and it is now 6% almost. And direct tax buoyancy is about 2.52%. Okay, highest in the 15 year. We have the highest buoyancy, highest buoyancy in last 15 years. So that is 2.52%. Okay. Now, reason of the low tax base. Why we have not a good tax base? What kind of reasons are there that we people are in lacking in the tax base? Okay. So the one reason is what? Why we have low tax base? First is large informal sector. We have the large informal sector. Okay, informal sector. Second one is tax exemption for agriculture. Tax exemption for agriculture. What do you mean? Like we are not putting any tax on agriculture. We have large informal sector. Third one is high incidence of tax litigation. So litigations are there in the tax. So that is also one reason we have less, like 5 lakh cases pending in the tax litigation. And next is the lack of technical expertise. Lack of technical